Hey guys, this is Tom Vicar with a hotly anticipated review of the iPad mini. Now, let me tell you guys that this tablet is incredibly thin. If you look at this, you probably can't tell really, but look at just how thin this is. To be honest, it literally feels like a couple sheets of metal paper together. It just feels fantastic in your hands. The entire experience is extremely light, extremely easy to hold. Obviously, I have pretty big hands, so I could just grasp it with one. But really great experience. And what's nice about it is that it keeps the same aspect ratio as the regular iPad, so all of its apps work together. For instance, if I bring up Flipboard, personally one of my favorite apps, it takes up the entire display and it looks fantastic. The entire thing is just a very polished product. Now, the only thing is that its resolution leaves a little bit to be desired. Everyone, instantly thought about when they announced it would be 1024 by 768, the same resolution as the iPad 2. Everyone, was a little surprised considering that Apple's been working on the Retina display. Now, while I can tell you that the display definitely doesn't look that fuzzy, you can definitely tell a difference between the iPad 3 and the iPad mini. You could just see, small pixels here and there, and reading text isn't quite as crisp as you would like. Now, the great thing is, though, that Apple did advertise is the screen reality. Now, you probably can't even tell that there is a bezel on the screen. It is literally that thin. And the best part is, if I am resting my hand right here, it won't detect it. But if I rest it right here, I can make my swipes, which is nice because since it does have a thin bezel, you're going to obviously touch this part a lot. But it does reject your palm most of the time, which is nice so that there aren't any accidental swipes or the like. A lot of people say that the iPad mini could be compared to a big iPod Touch, but it definitely isn't. It's a small iPad because it has all the polish and all the workings of the iPad apps that you would like. Obviously, I did show you Flipboard before, which takes advantage of the entire screen reality, unlike some of the iPhone and iPod Touch apps out there. And obviously, one of the great parts about the iPad mini is that all of your apps work. And that's the great part about it. You don't have to worry about a different screen size or anything like that. Same aspect ratio, same resolution as the iPad 2. Everything works, and I gotta admit, everything is snappy. Even though the processor is a little bit dated, it works just fine. If I want to pull up the internet is right there. If I want to double tap, pull it up, go to the clock, it just is right there. It's very snappy. It works well. It's a nice size, but it's a little premium priced. Starting at $330, the iPad mini definitely is not cheap. Now, Apple has said that the reason for this price is because there is quality in the product, and I can't deny that. The entire product feels like great quality. The metal on the back is nice, brushed, and polished. It feels great in your hand. Don't mind those little spots there. It's just water on the back. The camera, the 5-megapixel camera, is really good. Obviously, you're not going to really be using it in public, but it's nice, if you just want to take a picture of a document so you could look at it. Actually, a great comparison test. You can even see that the iPad mini is thinner than the styluses, which is about the size of a pencil. It is very thin. You really have to feel it in your own hands to understand what I'm saying. It's just really easy and light to use. You can't quite stick it in a pocket or anything like that, but it's really easy and nice to carry around. Without a Retina display, the iPad mini really just doesn't live up to the expectations of an iPad. Text doesn't look nearly as crisp. Actually, I'll bring it up to show you. You probably can't tell, to be honest. But text does not look as crisp as the iPad. But it is nice that you could hold the entire thing in one hand, still have a lot of screen reality, and hold it. Now, to be honest, I think the iPad mini is definitely a little overpriced for what it is. If it did have the Retina display of the iPad 3, this would be probably a must-buy for the price point, even though it is a little pricey. Retina display on this, with such a large app ecosystem that just works with it, really small, thin bezels, and an extremely light and polished design, the iPad mini is a fantastic product. But it's the first iteration, so you have to expect there to be some flaws with it. Once the iPad mini does get a Retina display, which I have no doubt it will in the future, this will be the king of the 7-inch tablet market, unless there is a little bit more innovation in the Android tablet space. At $330 and competing in the 7-inch tablet market, the iPad mini is almost, but not quite there. Because it doesn't have the Retina display and is actually beat out by the cheaper Nexus 7 in its resolution, some customers are going to have a problem with that. Really, tablets are used for reading purposes. If the resolution isn't quite there, and we're already used to the high resolutions of the iPad 3, and even the cheaper Nexus 7 and Kindle Fire HD, it's tough to justify a pricier version of a 7-inch tablet. While the screen reality really does make a big difference compared to the other 7-inch tablets on the market, the resolution really holds the iPad mini down from greatness. The app ecosystem's there. The screen reality is there. The power and speed, even for a dated processor, is definitely there. But the display leaves a bit more to be desired. If you don't mind the display being a little bit pixelated, this is the perfect product for you. Nice, easy to handle, can hold it in one hand as I have been doing. And it's thin as anything. If I even show you just this pen compared to it, it's practically the same width. And you really can't understand it unless you hold it. The iPad mini is a fantastic product. I would definitely recommend it in 1 year. Or if you could get a refurbished model in the next couple of weeks, go ahead and do that. It would be a great value, as long as you don't mind the resolution being a little lower. I'm Tom Vaccaro. Thank you for watching this video review. If you want any more, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Thanks.